London, England. July 5th, 1991, 9 a.m. Regulators stormed the headquarters of Bank of Credit and Commerce International. Within hours, raids begin in 14 countries simultaneously: New York, Paris, Abu Dhabi, the Cayman Islands. Every account frozen, every branch shuttered, every executive detained. BCCI claimed to have $20 billion in assets, but when investigators opened the vault, they found a black hole. $13 billion. Gone. Not stolen, not lost. Never there. Over 1 million depositors lost their life savings. Taxi drivers in London, small business owners, pensioners across the globe. But the elite had already moved their money. The autocrats, the syndicates, the clandestine services. They knew the collapse was coming. Because BCCI wasn't just a bank. It was a shadow ledger for the world's most dangerous men. To understand BCCI, you need to understand the structure. On paper, it was a legitimate international bank. Founded in 1972, registered in Luxembourg, headquartered in London. But beneath the surface, there was another institution, the Special Operations Unit, a bank within a bank. No official records, no regulatory oversight, no paper trail. This is where BCCI's real business happened. Money laundering for foreign regimes, payment processing for global narcotics networks, off-the-books financing for unauthorized conflicts. BCCI didn't just accept dirty money, it institutionalized it. They created a system called nominee shareholders, wealthy-looking individuals who appeared to be the bank's investors. But they were puppets. The bank used its own deposits to buy shares in itself, then placed those shares in the names of frontmen who had no idea they were part of a misappropriation. It looked like a $20 billion empire. In reality, it was smoke and mirrors. By 1985, BCCI was already insolvent, but it kept operating for 6 more years. Why? Because the people who knew the truth had too much to lose. The Cayman Islands, 1980s, BCCI's offshore headquarters. This is where the magic happened. Deposits made in London would be routed through the Caymans, then to Luxembourg, then to shell companies in Panama, then back to London as investment capital. The money moved in circles, creating the illusion of liquidity, creating the illusion of growth. But every transfer was just moving the same dollars from one pocket to another. By the late 1980s, internal intelligence agencies began to notice, but they didn't shut it down because BCCI was useful. The agencies used it to fund asymmetric warfare. Foreign directorates used it to move money without oversight. Nuclear tier nations used it to finance their most classified weapons programs. BCCI wasn't a bank. It was a covert financial network for governments that couldn't operate in the light. And when it finally collapsed, those governments walked away clean. July 1991. The raids begin. Over the next 2 years, investigators pieced together the systemic failure. $13 billion missing. Loans to shell companies that never existed. Investments in properties that were never purchased. Accounts held in the names of people who had gone silent years earlier. But the architect of it all never faced a Western courtroom. He fled, placed under house arrest, but never extradited. In 1995, he went silent forever, taking with him the secrets of BCCI's true purpose. Who gave the orders to keep the bank operational for 6 years after it became insolvent? Who protected it from regulators in the US and UK? And where did the $13 billion actually go? The official investigation concluded in 1992. Thousands of pages of testimony, hundreds of indictments, but the elite clients, the operatives, the arms dealers, None of them were ever charged, because BCCI wasn't just a criminal enterprise, it was a tool, a black budget disguised as a bank. On July 5th, 1991, regulators shut down the world's most dangerous bank, but they didn't dismantle the system. They just moved it underground. Today, the methods pioneered by BCCI are still in use. Nominee shareholders, offshore hubs, unrecorded departments, the names have changed, but the protocol remains. This case is ongoing. Subscribe to stay in the feed. This is Offshore Files, Case 008, closed for now.